But now, there was a case of a 50-year-old kid who was assaulted, and Scottsdale actually did recommend charges.
And in that case, yes, Scottsdale
Thanks.
submitted for a charging review. They thought that would be probable cause for a crime to have been committed. And that's the police standard, probable cause. And as I shared with you, the prosecutor's standard is a reasonable likelihood of a conviction, because we've got to prove a case beyond a reasonable doubt, which is much higher than probable cause. And in that particular case, I was able to review, and this is one that I did review. Experienced prosecutors in the office took a look at it and then made a recommendation to me, and I looked at everything again myself. And within the video, it's called a mandibular pressure point is applied, and there are statements made by law enforcement. And I read the interviews, and I read the interview of the suspect himself. And to put it in context, Mesa police were responding to a call of armed robbery, aggravated assault at a convenience store, where the suspect had what appeared to be either a sawed-off rifle or a sawed-off shotgun. Police officers stopped at the convenience store, viewed the surveillance video, and then put out a description, and the were both there. Police were circulating, driving around in the area, and they saw two people moving through an apartment complex that matched those descriptions, and they ordered them down onto the ground. Now, keep in mind, step back for a moment and think about police are responding to a call where someone has a weapon, and they watched on surveillance video that confirmed that the person in the video appeared to have a sawed-off rifle or a sawed-off shotgun. And then now they see two people walking and they don't see the weapon. You order the two people to the ground. The male, who turns out to be 15 years old, is not responding to commands as police are telling him. They don't see the weapon. They don't know if he dropped it off somewhere or if he might have it on his person, and he might pull the weapon out and try to use it. So they go up and they take the female into custody, they take the juvenile into custody, and they handcuff him. And they're walking him over to a police car. Meanwhile, the area that they were in was a known gang area. And they're not sure if somebody else has a weapon or if somebody else might be walking around watching what they're doing. They get the juvenile onto the police car. They try to push him up onto it so that he can't move.
Yeah, you're right.
Search him and try to find if the weapon is there. They're very concerned about where that weapon is in the area that they're in. Other police
That's all they got.
officers have their backs to the two who have the juvenile in custody because they're watching what's going on around. They go to search him. He's moving. He's trying to put his feet up on the bumper and push off. Now, while that's going on, they're applying the pressure points. It hurts to have a finger pressed into the side of your jaw. And while they were walking the juvenile over, he's saying with colorful language various things about the police officers. They also think he may be trying to signal potential gang members who are in the area. And they're applying the pressure point, and one of them is saying, "Are you done talking? Are you done talking?" Now, applying pressure on someone who's in handcuffs and saying that for no other reason could be an aggravated assault. That could be a felony. And so I'm watching the video and I'm seeing that, and that's what my first thought is, because that's all I see. And then the officer's asking him, "Where's the gun? Where's the gun?" while he applies another pressure point. You can't use force on someone to get them to provide information or confess. You can ask someone in custody, "Where's the gun?" even without reading the Miranda rights. It's known as a public safety exception, where they want to know where that weapon is. And then they're also applying the pressure point other times, not saying anything. In the interviews of the officers who were around, they all referred to the fact that the juvenile kept moving. Well, you can use force in Arizona to make an arrest or to detain somebody. And in that instance, they were trying to detain him and find out where that weapon is. Then I read the interview of the suspect, where the suspect states, "Yeah, they probably did it because I didn't stop moving." There went my case. Law enforcement under Arizona law can use force to detain somebody, and under those circumstances, where you have someone who was seen to have a weapon, and they haven't been able to find out where that weapon is, and to try to keep him in place so that they can search him, It's a permissible use of force under Arizona law. And when the suspect himself acknowledges that that's probably why they did it, and he knows what amount of force is otherwise used in an arrest because he's been arrested before, I have no case. There is no reasonable likelihood of a conviction in that instance. Could the officers involved have been arrested? Was there probable cause? Sure, if you only look at parts of the video and you don't consider the totality of all the other information that was provided. And so that's why I concur in the recommendation I received that there was no reasonable likelihood of a conviction and that the use of force under Arizona law in that circumstance was permissible. It doesn't look good. There's a whole separate question about training and policy about using that. But in my role as a prosecutor looking to see whether or not I can charge a crime and convict, I did not have the evidence to do